Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be making an updated hero wishlist guide along with Paragon priority for the players who are interested in improving their PvP ranking as well. We're going to lead it off with the Lightbearer faction. So the Lightbearer S levels, they're going to be two main heroes as you guys see here. Siren because of his use in AFK stages and PvP, and Cassidy for her use in Dream Realm for pre-endless Dream Realm as a buffer for Sylvan. Currently, she is best suited for that. Now, do keep in mind that potentially if a new hero is released in the upcoming season, maybe there will be a better option in pre-endless Dream Realm that will not use Cassidy. However, as of right now from this season, Cassidy was seeing good Dream Realm usage for pre-endless Dream Realm, making a priority to build up all the way up to Supreme Plus, and Siren up to Supreme Plus as well. However, you can pick up one copy of Sonya because Sonya basically gets her job done, which is her attack buff, even at that one copy, as long as she's able to survive, and that could help you with some Dream Realm. And then Rowan, one copy can help potentially somewhat for AFK stages. Now, when we talk about Paragon upgrade priority, it's really Siren and Perseus. These are the top two damage dealers for the S level faction, deserving a Paragon. If you are using Rowan at all in the PvP comp, you can also potentially try to Paragon upgrade him. However, Rowan, it depends on how good his charms are in the season to decide whether he's being used or not. This season, he wasn't really used that much in the top teams. So that is basically what I have to say for the S level Lightbearer heroes. The other ones can be skipped very safely. Moving on to the A level Lightbearers, look at this. We have a big list here, but there are really only a couple of really good heroes. Number one is Sylvan himself for AFK stages, an absolute beast. For pre-endless Dream Realm, an absolute beast. He is a really important hero, and if you missed out on his banner this season, definitely make sure he's on your wish list. And also, you will want to Paragon upgrade him because he's pretty good damage dealer in PvP as well, and that is going to be a good option for you. Hugin as well is the second most important A-level Lightbearer hero, very, very useful for AFK stages, has some Dream Realm usage as well, also very strong in PvP, making him another great Paragon upgrade priority. Now, really, other than these two, the only one I can really say that is important is Zany. Zany has some use in Dream Realm for pre-endless Dream Realm. However, it is limited usage, and once you get to Endless, she isn't really used. Even in Ravage Realm this season, she really isn't in the top teams. But still, she is an important hero. And for PvP, I don't use her that much. I just think that there are heroes that do better than her, like Hugin and Sylvan for Paragon upgrade priority. But if you're done with them in Paragon, you can potentially Paragon upgrade Zany as well. Now, apart from these three heroes, it really comes down to very situational niche things, which are not really worth building heroes up for, at least as of right now. So you can basically be done once you have these three heroes built. Moving on to the S level Maulers, we have Galahad, who is the queen of AFK journey right now, reigning queen for Endless Dream Realm for both Phase 2 and Phase 3 Endless. She is in the top teams, and she's absolutely demolishing the bosses. On top of all of that, she does have some occasional AFK stage use for her damage output and ultimate casting frequency, and also she has some PvP usage if you would like to use her in a range carry comp. Galahad, very important hero, and also Paragon upgrade, definitely worth it because there are not other good targets for Paragon in the S level Maulers. Then we have Smokey, who is still good for Dream Realm, Endless Dream Realm, Primal Lords, you have the usage, and so for those reasons he's worth building up, and really also early game he's really helpful as an attack buffer, healer, haste buffer to increase your damage in Dream Realm content. So yeah, Smokey, really important hero to build up as well. Now, apart from these two, there are some other heroes which are important. Mikola, especially for the Blightshroom Dream Realm boss, if we're going to get that in the upcoming season, she has value. And also in Ravage Realm and, occasional bosses or Primal Lords, Mikola is going to get that value. So she's a really important hero to be building up, in my opinion. Now, apart from these three, honestly, I'm just kind of tempted to say maybe at least don't rush them too much. Shakir and Nazwick, these are the two heroes which used to be they used to be meta, at least for some point in time. But nowadays, they're just not used in any top teams, apart from Nazwick in Ravage Realm Dauntless Squad. So there's some value there for building him up. And then Shakir, very, very occasional, some budget backup teams for like Nocturne Judicator. not even the top teams. And so it really is a bad time for Shakira and Nazarick, honestly speaking. And both of them need a plus 10 exclusive equipment investment to even work at all. Otherwise, they're not really going to be great. And like for Rowdrum, Nazarick, he can work even at one low copies. And it is going to be a bit of a score gap, but not a huge deal. And so getting the job done with low investment Nazarick is totally a fine option. So that is that about those heroes. Zandrock is good for PvP, especially if you're also going to be building Perseus, because they have great synergy in a melee, basically carry comp. And you can Paragon upgrade Zandrock for that if you would like to. I do think that in terms of Paragon priority, these would probably be my top two, Galahad and Zandrock. And that is basically it. Like, one copy of Brutus has some occasional use in AFK stages, not massive, and that's really all we have to talk about for the S level Maulers. The other ones are skippable. Okay, moving on to the A level Maulers. Again, this is actually going to be one category where there are not many good targets. Definitely Corridon is the best A level Mauler currently, having good Dream on meta usage. You can use him early game in AFK stages, at least I did when I did my beginner account. And then Corridon for PvP, he's not the greatest, honestly speaking, but if needed, you can try to run him in a melee comp. So that is what we have about Corridon. Very important hero and worth Paragon upgrading as well, because there's just not many other good targets. Now for the Coco, so Coco has some usage for like damage reduction. Usually I see her used in Heroic Gauntlet, sometimes early Dream Realm. Nowadays you do have other ways of having that protection, and so maybe Coco isn't as important. But Coco up to Mythic Plus, it is a big skill upgrade for her. I would still recommend it. However, you should definitely pick up one copy of Kruger first, because Kruger will help you for some Dream Realm content with his debuffs, but he can work even at one copy, which is the advantage of him. And then we have Satrana. Satrana is actually going to be the best PvP A-level Mauler currently in the game. And that isn't a high bar, honestly speaking, but it's because she can debuff enemies with a big vitality debuff, reducing the healing to almost nothing. And that is going to allow you to burst through them and actually kill stalled teams. So Satrana is really good in damage over time, team comps that can spread her debuffs rapidly. So that is what we have for that. Okay, S-level Wilders, this is packed, guys. This is the most packed category of them all, and there are a lot of good targets here. Now, first and foremost, Valarian, so these are the top two, because both of them have AFK stage usage, both of them have Dream Realm usage. It's crazy because they both kind of almost do a similar thing, but they both do it better in different circumstances, when like you just need a hero to die and provide some value. So this is the one. But if you want to have a longer fight and actually get the maximum damage output, it is Valara, because Valara has the maximum buffing and also debuffing to enemies compared to Sleece. But both are important, both priorities to build up. And for Paragon upgrade priority, it is Sleece. Sleece is one of the best PvP S-level Wilders. She's very good in a multitude of comps, just stalling for your team, or also even having some damage output. And also attack buffing your team is also really good. Apart from this, we have other key heroes. I would say number 3 would probably have to be Ravion, or it would have to be Floribel. Because Floribel, currently in the current state of the Summoner meta for Doomscrow Dream on boss and multiple Dream on bosses, it is dominated by Aurora and Floribel together. And so if this remains true, then Floribel will still be good. Just one thing to pay attention to is we're going to be getting Peggy, who is another summoning character who apparently has at least a minimum of 3 summons that we saw in the skill trailer, or basically the new season trailer. And if Peggy can somehow replace Floribel, then maybe Floribel will lower down in the priority. But for right now, Floribel still is on top for multiple Dream On, pre-endless boss teams, and even endless Doomscourge. She is currently, like even today, in the top team. And so Floribel, very important hero, and you want to get it a Supreme Plus. Especially with the Summoner meta being so strong. Ravion is a buffer for Dream Realm, and also for PvP, Ravion is a beast. He's a major Paragon upgrade priority, along with like these that we mentioned. Now, there are still more heroes here. There are more heroes such as Iron for AFK stages, also very important. Now, you will be able to use like one copy of Mihira for a while in other forms of crowd control, but eventually you will always need to have Iron built to Mythic Plus minimum in order to actually get your full value of AFK stages and AFK stage pushing. And he is okay in PvP, mainly to take an enemy Lily May interruption, potentially. But that is what we have for Iron. Now, apart from this, we have more heroes. We have 2 PvP heroes, Lily May and Tassi. These are both heroes which are good in PvP, and if you can afford it, are worth Paragon upgrading. Now, the thing is, honestly, because there are so many Paragon parties, like Ravion, like Celeste, like Tassi, like Lily May, and that's just like kind of the bare minimum. It will be hard for you to Paragon all of them. And so if you really have to pick and choose, I would say the top 3 are Celeste, Ravion, and Lily May. Because Tassi is good, but Tassi's a little bit, she needs a comp centered around her, whereas Ravion, Celeste, Lily May can slot into most comps, and Lily May has like great ultimate denial, which is always going to be value, like probably long term, even into the future. But Tassi also has value with long, like survival, stall factor, and then finishing off the enemies. Then there are even more niche as level wilders, but I'm not really going to talk about them because it's not really even worth talking about. If you use Brian in AFK stages, but I don't even know how many people do that now with all the hero options out. But if you do, then he is potentially a hero to target. But yeah, that is all I'm going to say about the SL wilders for now. Moving on to the A level wilders. We have the top 2 are going to be Theodore and Faramore. Now, there are some good A-level wilders, but really, it just comes down to these 2. These are the 2 biggest ones, and you can actually Paragon upgrade both of them. Theodore is a beast in PvP, definitely worth Paragon upgrading. Faramore, not as much in PvP, although he can be used, especially for his temporary stat buff, but for Dream Realm and for AFK stages. Mainly AFK stages, and if you Paragon upgrade him, slightly improve your effectiveness for that content. But yeah, he doesn't need to be Paragon upgraded Faramore, honestly. And if you want to just go for Theodore, that's fine. The thing is, who else would you put on the wish list? There are some other targets here. Almas, the thing is, he's just not really used in AFK stages. Like, I haven't used Almas in AFK stages probably in over a season now. I don't know if it's different for other people. You guys can share in the comment section if you use Almas in AFK stages. Almas used to be used a lot in combination with Iron in AFK stages, but these days he's just not used anymore. Apart from that, it's mainly just going to be some PvP heroes or like some weird budget teams using Damien and Dream Realm, like as a summoning mechanism. But like yeah, Damien PvP is okay, especially in stall teams. He can be decent. Like if you need temporary stat buffs for your team, like for example, if you're doing Perseus carry team or you're doing Lily May carry team, temporary stat buffs increase their damage by a lot. They really scale off of temporary stat buffs, so that can be interesting. Lenya I would not recommend anymore. Lenya is a hero which has just fallen off, like in PvP, and also in Dream Realm and stuff. She had some usage in Necro Drake and Dream Realm boss, but that boss is probably going to be gone this season, let's face it. So yeah, and the other hero is not important. Talia gets too hard counter to true damage, which completely bypasses her shield, and so you can't run Talia, honestly, in PvP unless you're using it on offense, or if you're an early game player using like 1 copy of Talia for AFK stages. I did that and that was actually pretty decently effective. But yeah. Okay, moving on to the Graveborn. We have so again, some decent options here. I still think Shamira is still going to be the #1 priority for the Graveborn S levels. I know she has fallen off from her dominance in previous seasons. However, she still is going to have some pre-endless Dream Realm usage, especially early games. She can get value. You can use her in AFK stages, you can use her in PvP, all around solid hero, and for that reason you can also Paragon upgrade her if possible. Damon is a hero which is really good. He has Dream Realm usage, he's even in some top teams of Dream Realm currently in Endless, like in Gloomlaw. And also, he can work as a tank for the Freerin Himmel combo as a hero to get the hero party buff. And there are not that many good tanks for Dream Realm or even other content. So that is interesting. And Damon's very good in PvP. So overall, I think Damon's a really good hero. He is a big Paragon upgrade priority. I would definitely say try to get your Damon upgraded. Apart from this, we also have Ludovic. Ludovic is mainly relegated to a Ravage Realm hero at the end of the season, and also some healing for PvP, which is worth it. I mean, overall, that is good, decent value, but he doesn't get the value he once had, where he was also an endless damage dealer, and now there are just way too many other better options than him, so Ludovic is completely replaced from Dream Realm content. But yeah, you can Paragon upgrade Ludovic if possible. Thorin is used for King Croaker Dream Realm boss, especially in budget teams, but you need to have a Mythic Plus for that, so try to get him there if possible. You can use him at 1 copy early on, even for King Croaker boss, but basically eventually you want him at Mythic Plus for maximum value. The other heroes I wouldn't really say worth it. Like Zoria is doing well this season only because the Graveborn Phantom deals damage over time even after dying, and so you just want to stall out, and that's why Zoria is good. But I just feel like even though Zoria probably going to be decent in upcoming seasons, I think without the Graveborn Phantom, she's going to be far weaker and probably not top tier, and so that's why I wouldn't really recommend the investment. Okay, guys, we are almost done here. We have the A-level final category, A-level Graveborn heroes. Again, there are some bangers in this category. Shadewing is really good for pre-endless Dream Realm. At least he was in this season, so hopefully that will hold true for the upcoming season as well, in which case he is a major priority to be building as soon as you possibly can, and that is why you should keep him on wishlist from day one. And if you don't already have him at Mythic Plus, Supreme, or Supreme Plus, keep him on your wishlist. And then you have Bonnie. Bonnie is good early game with her debuffs and damage output. That can help for AFK stages, Dream Realm. She's also really good in PvP. So when you have her fully built up, she's good in PvP. Her debuff, a little bit countered by Mihura because that charm can basically delay her actually casting her debuff, which is a bit problematic. But there's nothing you can do about that unless we somehow have like a team-wide unaffected buff hero coming out. Maybe that would be crazy. But until something like that happens, yeah. So yeah, and Bonnie has some use for Dream Realm as well, so you have that going for you as well. Now, apart from this, there are other key heroes. We have Volca, who has some Dream Realm boss usage, not as much as Shadewing, and not overall as flexible, as strong of a hero as Bonnie. That's why I would say she's number 3 or number 4. And Isabella is also strong. For the Nocturne Judicator Dream Realm boss, she was essential. But the thing is, this is probably the final season of this boss, and so if we don't get another boss where you have some unit that you have to buff and that will be your damage source, then Isabella will have less value. Isabella got a lot of value by giving the melee damage buff and her other buffs to the Midnight Hunter, who was dealing all of the damage for you in the Nocturne Judicator boss. So yeah, Isabella is very situational, but even like in Ravage Realm right now, she is in the top team, and so she is a solid hero to be building up as well. I definitely have to say that. And then finally, I do want to mention Kallen. Oh, actually, I need to mention two more. The two more PvP heroes here. Kallen and Niru. Kallen is a beast for PvP protection, and also he is really good in those game modes like Stellar Ascent, where you need that shielding. I think Kallen is an essential hero at this point, at least to Supreme Plus with his skill upgrade. And you can even Paragon upgrade him if you are interested in doing that for more PvP. And then you have Niru. Niru is good for PvP because he can take an enemy Lily May interruption. He usually has good charms each and every season, and if the enemy doesn't have Lily May, he's able to give another life to one of your key carries. And so yeah, Niru has good value, and he can spread Bonnie and Citrana debuffs very effectively, very quickly by a whole team-wide damage output. So yeah, Niru is really good, solid hero as well. And for Paragon upgrading, I would really say it has to be Kallen and Niru, and maybe Bonnie. Those would probably be the 3 for PvP. Shadewing was kind of like unique to this season. Shadewing overall is not strong in PvP. It was only because we needed instant debuffs on the entire enemy team, and probably that effect will never be needed in the future, most likely. So that is basically what we have for the regular wish list. So let's go ahead and move on to the epic recruitment wish list. So epic recruitment is very simple. Basically, you just follow along with the most important key heroes that we mentioned in the all hero recruitment, and you put your top 4 over here along with Pandora. You have to keep Pandora in your epic wish list, and that's because she is only obtainable by the epic wish list, and she is still meta for Dream Realm, Endless Dream Realm content, and she's also good for PvP. So you have to keep Pandora here, and even after you max out Pandora, you can even Paragon upgrade her, because she is a priority to do that due to her PvP usage and her role as a damage dealer for Dream Realm or Ravage Realm content. So obviously, if you increase her Paragon upgrade, and that increases her stats, and that is going to increase her damage output slightly. The other ones are just really the big 4 characters I would think are the most important right now. Galahad, Shmira. Galahad for Endless, of course. Shmira for some pre-Endless content, and just overall a good, solid hero PvP, some AFK stages. You have Valara for AFK stages, Sleaze for AFK stages, and both of them for Dream Realm as well. But like, for example, there are other great targets here like Smokey, and like the other S level heroes that we did mention throughout this video, like even Damon if you need him. or even Ravion. And also for Paragon upgrades, you can customize this list how you want, with your most important PvP heroes you're running. Okay, so pretty simple. Now moving on to the Stargaze Station. Now Stargaze Station, the most important hero, first of all, is get one copy of Mahira. For AFK stages, this is essential. This is going to allow you to push farther than you ever can. And so you need to get one copy of Mahira. Also, that is good enough to work in Ravage Realm. As you guys are seeing right now in the Sylvan squad, one copy of Mahira is working and still getting a way higher score compared to any team you would try to put together not using Mahira. So Mahira, one copy, but stop at one copy. Then after that, you have, honestly, there are a lot of heroes that function at one copy now. Gunner at one copy, pretty functional, has some Dream Realm usage for both pre-endless and endless, and especially for a new game player. Honestly, I think you should get one copy of Gunner, and Ravage Realm right now, one copy of Gunner is working. So one copy of both of these, and then you also have one copy of, who is the other hero that we have one copy of? Contest. So for some Endless Dream Realm or Ravage Realm, Contest is working at one copy. For Ravage Realm, definitely she's working at one copy. Now, it isn't ideal for her to be at one copy. You want to fully build her eventually and pretty much as quickly as you can. However, one copy will get the job done. So if you want to take a bit of a detour, get one copy of Contest, not gonna be the worst thing in the world for you, and you're gonna see some value out of it. And then you have just some other one copy heroes which are much more niche, such as your Kulu for some AFK stages, or even if you need to use her in Ravage Realm. Dunlinger, not really one copy, like honestly, because he's gonna have survival issues. But sometimes in Ravage Realm, like especially in the previous season, even one copy Dunlinger was doing well. But this season you can use Scarlet and Talion together. You don't need to use Dunlinger. So that's the thing. But really what you need to do is go straight for the twins. So after you finish your one copies of basically Mahira, then maybe Gunner, maybe Contest, you need to go for the twins, get them right to Supreme Plus. Twins are the most meta Celestial Hypogean in the game for Dream Realm content. Also, they have AFK stage usage, and you can even run them in PvP. They are overall the most bang for your buck, most valuable investment Celestial Hypogean in the game, and so it is essential for you to get that first. Now, after you're done with the twins, this is where things get really, really tough. And for right now, I am honestly leaning towards just maxing Contest after the twins and skipping out on Rainier entirely. Now, we don't know what the future of Rainier is going to be, because we have, the upcoming season. We're going to see pre-Endless Dream Realm for the first time with Contest actually in the game. If Contest can somehow outperform Rainier even in pre-Endless Dream Realm, that is going to be crazy and actually make Rainier almost useless. I still think though Rainier is probably going to be meta for some teams in pre-Endless Dream Realm, but like he's really now on the verge of extinction, and not even, I don't think he's worth getting more copies of. I think you should just be skipping Rainier at this point. Go straight for Contest, who is the most valuable Celestial Hypogean investment after the twins, and you want to get both of them to Supreme Plus, by the way. Plus 20 exclusive equipment or higher. There you have it. Then after that, I would be leaning towards, honestly, we'll have to wait and see for the upcoming season. If Alicent is still going to be good for Phase 2 Endless Dream Realm, which could be the case, then maybe getting her. But for Phase 3 Endless, she's having problems, guys. Let's face it, she's not in very many top teams at all, and it really is, people are worried that maybe Contest and Galahad and now Freerin as well have maybe just power crept Alicent out of the endless meta, and that could be the case. So I would stay clear of Alicent for right now and probably opt more for Gunner first. Gunner can work at one copy, however, if you have the luxury of getting him upgraded further than that, like up to plus 15 exclusive equipment Supreme Ascension, or even higher than that, then you're going to be getting almost maximum value from him, and also sometimes running teams which others will not be able to run at one copy Gunner. Sometimes the Gunner investment is a requirement to actually make a team your top team. And so there you have that. Now, apart from all of that, I mean, it really becomes situational. We have some AFK stage heroes like Baleran. Baleran is also seeing Dream Realm usage. And for Endless Dream Realm right now, I believe actually Baleran's seeing slightly more usage than Alicent, but both are seeing limited usage. And like, for example, a new player right now, if you recruit Freerin, which you definitely should, because there's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, literally, and she is one of the most impactful games for Endless Dream Realm. But like, let's say you have Freerin, you have Contest being built, or you have her built, you have twins, you have Galahad. That core of 4 is basically good enough for almost every endless dream on boss. Just slot in a final team member and be good to go. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I like basically with given your options you have. But for me, with all the heroes built, I hardly ever used Valorant this season for AFK stages. It was actually disappointing how little I used him in AFK stages this season. I really feel like the meta is again shifting a bit. But I know for people with limited heroes built and having Valorant built, he probably will have more AFK stage usage, but just a food for thought. Then apart from all of this, you have some other key heroes like Saida for AFK stages. If you want to push AFK stages, you need to build Saida, and she's also pretty good in PvP. Decent, but she does get countered by Contest when Contest silences the Saida. You have Alna, who is the... Overall, I think Alna is the best PvP hero in the game. And kind of not even close, honestly. I know we're talking about Gunner, who's also a beast in PvP and Contest. But Alna, her invincibility and then haste debuffing all enemies, apart from your buffed ally, it is so much value. And like... I can never see how this is ever going to lose its value unless there's going to be some way of actually bypassing invincibility in the future, which doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't think honestly will happen. I think Alna is just going to reign supreme in PvP realm for many seasons to come, at least hopefully. But yeah, that's what we have for Alna. And then you just have some other heroes here, which are not as important as, like, Alna is the number 1 for PvP. Saida is the number 1 for AFK stages. Then we talked about Dream Run, basically priorities. So that's basically all I will talk about in this video. So hopefully this is helpful and it helps you, like, you know, you feel a little bit more confident in setting up your wish list. And if you have any other thoughts, you can feel free to share them in the comment section. Always interesting to hear other viewpoints, and of course you could have input which is useful to players, which I failed to mention. So thank you guys all so much for watching. That is gonna be it for this video, and if you think about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video in a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.